Hi everyone, KB with Fort Tillamook. I want to go over what I did with my BK2 and some modifications I made to it and the sheath and whatnot. There's been a lot of talk about the SE sheath and how it doesn't line up with the BK2 plastic handle. I got mine to work fine. I don't know what everybody else was talking about. I did. I'll show you real quick. Took the original BK2 nylon strap that was on it, got that off. The SE sheath part does bolt on, screw on to the original plastic BK2 sheath. So if you see any videos or you talk to any of your friends or anybody who says it doesn't fit, it does. Even the little pouch you put on front, holes lined up, it works great. Okay, first BK2. A lot of you are familiar with what that is. You can see I've used mine a lot. People are talking about how the grips are smooth, your hands get sweaty, it loosens, whatever. You can buy like the Mikata or Mikata handles. I spent $60 for the knife, and I didn't want to spend another $40 just for the handles. So if you take a Dremel tool or a hacksaw blade or even some sandpaper, scored it in a little pattern. I did that with a Dremel tool. Also put the sander part on the Dremel tool and just roughed it up a little bit. It's not going to go anyplace. Alright, so if you don't want to spend extra 40 or some places more money just for the handles, use the same handles and you can make it work. People talk about how they will come loose, a little bit of Loctite in these, and it'll keep it together. Okay, like I said, the SE new sheath does fit on the old thing. Now, some people I know have gotten sheaths where their knife keeps falling out. Right? When I got mine, this thing was in here so tight, I had to use a lot of strength to get the knife out. I'd have my thumb on the release and kind of dangerous. I would even have to use my finger to try to pull these apart a little bit for the thing to pop out. You don't want to cut your finger off or anything like that. And just pulling it apart was next to impossible. So what I did is I cut the top half of this thing off. You can see the back of it, it's still there. This is what it looked like on the front. I just cut that down to where the locking pin is. It's not going to come out. Right? I've used this a lot, as you can tell by the condition of the blade. And with that little thing, it will stay in there and I can pop it right out. With the old one, where the other side comes up to the top, I have this on my side. I literally could not pull the blade out. So that's one thing that I did for the original BK sheath. Added the SA on the back. I got 17 feet of polypropylene rope here. A lot of people talk about paracord and whatnot. Paracord's great. I carry a lot of it too. A lot of times I like the polypropylene better. Holds the knot better. Knots break loose a lot easier. And when it gets wet, this will last so much longer than regular paracord. And if you've ever had to deal with a tight knot when paracord is wet, you know what I'm talking about there. Alright, also got this little tiny knife, and with a sheath that I just took some paracord, put some holes in it, strapped it to the back. Alright, this little sheath has a little fire still, flint in it, and carbon steel knife. This was, I think I got this from Bud K, $9-10 bucks. It's a really good solid knife for the amount of money. Very sharp, holds a blade. You can see it's pretty thick, does a lot of stuff. This is good for little minor whittling work and stuff like make a fire drill. You can carve in a lot easier with this little knife. If you're familiar with a big knife and you can use it, but with the thickness of the BK, which you may be aware of, it's like a 1/4 inch thick, it gets it harder to do finite work with this. So I can pull this one out, make my little notches. I'm doing a little work to get my spindle going. So This works great. Doesn't take up any room. It's all on the back of it, and you got your fire starter with it. This is one neat little combination that all fits together. Stick it on the back of your knife. You know, it's a few more ounces. A lot of people talk about how much weight. I don't mind carrying extra weight as long as I know that the tools I'm carrying are going to help me out someplace. Also got a sharpener that I attached to the back. Smiths, they do just about everything. Got your little diamond bit on that. You got thing, and a neat thing about this is the BK, even though it's thick, will still fit when you want to sharpen this. And I hooked it through the cord that comes on this SA sheath. Instead of wrapping this around my leg or something like that, keeps it all in the back. So the back of the knife, I've got everything I need with that. And also, people were talking about how the pouch doesn't fit on the original BK sheath. Well, right here, it fits. All 4 holes, I got to line up. Have my little kit inside of that. So, we'll put that aside, show you what I got in here. You know, everybody likes using the term Ranger bands. Get an old bicycle inner tube, cut some strips out of it, and you're good to go. Now, duct tape. I didn't really talk about that. Duct tape does just about everything. At the top of the kit, I have 4 X-Acto knife blades strapped onto this for any little thing I need. Magnesium fire starter, always a good thing to have. A sparker, oh, it's like a 1-finger thing. Got that going on. A little button compass. Now, a lot of people always feel that they need a button compass in their kits. I carry one. I've rarely used it. If the sun's up, if the moon's up, if the stars are out, I know where I'm going. I can figure out, you know, north, south, east, west. If it's absolutely overcast, dark sky, there's no moon out, no stars, and you absolutely need to know what direction you're going, you can use your button compass. If you don't really need to know, it's middle of the night, you know what, take a nap, wake up in the morning, see where the sun's at. Even if it's a bit overcast, you can tell the brightness of the sky, which direction you're going. Safety pins, again, tons of uses for those. A whistle. Now, when this originally came to me, there's a little loop that you can tie off. I didn't need that, didn't want it. It fits better in here. So I've got 50 yards of dental floss. Again, all kinds of uses. Fishing line, rope, cordage, tie stuff off, whatever you need. Hacksaw blade works good for scraping. I also have the little knife on the back of the kit, but you can always use that. Now, even though I put Loctite on the bolts that hold the handle onto the knife, I still carry this just in case. You never know, one might break free, whatnot. Doesn't take up that much more room. Keep that in there. Another Ranger band or bicycle inner tube just to hold these on. This came out of one of those cheap survival knives that have the hollow handles and you put everything inside. What I did on one side is there's these little cotton things that are impermeated with some waxy fire type stuff, so I can take one of these out, spread it apart a little bit, use my sparker. Another way to make fire. The other side, got a couple of needles, 2 big ones. I got a little pair of pliers in here, tweezers, and a fishing kit. Fishing kit has, see there's a lake behind me, I might even go try this out a little bit later. I've got lures, sinkers, bunch of fishing line, hooks, all the things you need for that. Can even add more line if I need to rig up a pole or something. And a little signal mirror with a little viewfinder in it. Now, The bigger it is, the better off you're going to be. Alright, you got a big area, you're going to reflect more light, you're going to have somebody see you better. Just for a true survival situation, even this little one works phenomenally well. And it's got the cider line in there so you can really see where you're going. Push comes to shove. Got the typical Altoids type of tin with none of the paint or anything on it. And I can see that, you know, I can flash you guys with this. This will also work good. And that's basically it. Everything fits nice and neat little kit. All the stuff in here you have to be comfortable with using. You don't just get a kit, throw a bunch of stuff in there because you saw somebody else like me or, you know, one of these other 100 videos about survival kits. You got to know how to use all the stuff and be comfortable with it. What you can do, if you're up to it, is you make 2 kits. You take one out and just spend the whole day just using it. Get comfortable with what you have. Also with the knife, I've had a lot of people ask me, oh, what type of knife should I get? That's dependent upon you. You find one that you're comfortable with, right? I've shown you before, I've used this thing to death. And I'm comfortable with it, I know how to use it. Works great for what I want it for. The little one also. Take it out, use it. Don't just stick it in a sheath and walk around and think, oh, now I'm safe because I've got a knife. In this case, I've got 2 knives. Again, I've actually used this to carve some notches in here because the blade's too thick on my becker. So get it out, use it, be comfortable with it. And so what you may use for your knife may not be what someone else will use. It doesn't matter. If you're comfortable with it, use it. But quickly, I just want to go over it again. The SE sheath does attach to the Becker original plastic sheath. Now they got fancy names for what they call it. It's plastic. Right? Even the top screws on, all the holes line up. Extra rope. Rope is always a good thing. You never know when or why you want to use it. Sharpener, little knife, and the kit. Alright? Again, this is KB from Fort Tillamook, and I'll see you guys next time.